I actually work for the city of Montebello in California. So we service about 8 million riders a year. We have currently 72 buses. Each bus is equipped with our new surveillance system that we're going to talk about right now. One thing to know about Montebello is that we're in the middle of Los Angeles County, so just about all the car chases go through Montebello. That's how we're known for. Okay. So with 8 million all passengers, we have an issue of rider safety, securities and safety. Just this Monday, I just learned that we had an incident on the bus. So between safety, security, and risk, that's a big liability for the city, right? So we started out implementing analog cameras 10 years ago, and from the 10 years, we've learned a lot about cameras. So one of the things is the IP camera. So the one thing that we saw was like, well, we need some IP camera. We can't rely on the unreliable analog cameras, right? So we got really excited. So we started installing cameras on the bus. So as you're watching the video and the bus going around, so there's something missing, right? So you're seeing the bus, you're seeing the video, you see people moving, car moving. What we don't see is how fast the bus is moving. Where is it at, right? So those are information that we're missing. That we thought, well, what if we can say how fast it's going? Get the speed of the bus. Know where it's at. Transcode it. So if we have an emergency and if the dispatch have to dispatch the police officer, they don't know GPS coordinates. They want to know exactly what the address is at, right? So we've incorporated this into live streaming. So that means the officers, safety personnel can actually log in and see where the bus is in real time, right? So the topology of our system is this. We have a bus, several buses, 72 buses, all connected via switches, Wi-Fi's, and we've incorporated something in that is kind of new, mobile devices and body cams. So now we're able to bring in the information from the mobile devices, your phone, and the body cam right into our system, collecting GPS coordinates, information, data information. So with all these data, what do we do with them? How do we collect them, right? So the next slide, the Internet of Things. So we discovered that all these things that we're patching in, it really is Internet of Things. So what we want to do now, we've got speed, GPS coordinate. We want to be able to tap into the bus information, what they call the ODB, which is onboard diagnostic, and get the bus information. Now we can collect data and analyze it, right? And what we also are doing right now is that we're implementing access control. So if the bus driver comes in and swipes the card, we know who the driver is. And we can report on that. Right now, all the public safety buses, if you go out there, pay attention. All the buses do not have keys. They're keyless entries. The doors are never kept closed by law. You can actually pry a door open, go in, turn on a knob, push a button, the bus starts. Now, if you imagine we have, let's say, 72 CNG buses with compressed natural gases, right? Those are moving bombs. We have no control over them. So we're trying to implement all these things into our system. Because security by alone is not just cameras anymore. It's information, it's data, okay? You would see that another important information that we're collecting is live bus riders. So we know actually on the bus how many passengers are in there. So why is that important? The way that we get funded is by the number of riders. So the more riders, the more we get funded by our federal government. So people count is very, very important. Knowing how many people got off on the bus stops, got on and got off, is also important too. And the reason why is that we need funding to create more routes, more buses, more fundings. So that's why it's critical to collect data. Oops. So with all this information, you have videos, which are objects, and you've got data, speeds, time, drivers. How do we put them all together, right? So we started thinking about, well, let's try to do the traditional block storage. Doesn't work for us. We're like, well, there's got to be something out there that we can store the information, all this information collectively, and search at a very, very fast speed. If you've actually experienced block storage, your Windows file system, if you've got millions and millions of files, try to search for it, it'll take forever. So that's why we have to rethink. We're like, well, there's got to be something out there. Object storage. This is the key to our storage, information and videos. You imagine 72 buses recording constantly, offloading from the bus to the data center. What the key thing that we were looking for was that it has metadata. Now, Cloudian is actually very, very unique because we're taking information, a lot of information, and we requested from them, we need an 8K metadata. A lot of companies cannot provide 8K metadata at this time. So that was a key requirement. And that it has a global ID. So each video in a core of law, each video cannot be altered in any form. Having a global ID is very important. We can tell the judge, hey, this video has not been touched. It has not been changed. So that's very, very important, right? So then we thought, well, why Cloudian, right? Why Cloudian? There's a lot of other object storage out there. Why Cloudian? First, they're 100% Amazon S3 compliant. And that's important because no matter how big our data center is, it's not going to be as big as offloaded to the cloud. All right, so we need to be able to offload 6 months, a year's of video, whole video, to the cloud. And then it's multi-tenancy and billing. Well, that's kind of interesting because why would you need billing in an agency, right? In a public agency. Well, what's happening is that other agencies are interested in our system. So what they want to do is that they want to utilize our storage, not manage to have us manage it. So now we can build them. And then policy driven, this is the offloading. So we say videos older than 6 months offload to a cloud. So that's why. Tiering, integrated search and data analytics, that's actually very, very important. In the next slide, you'll see what I mean by that. And one file systems and objects. Also, the reason why we chose Cloudian is because it was easy for us to put it on-prem. So it's important because all the bus that comes in to the depot, the videos gets offloaded Wi-Fi into the servers on-prem. You imagine offloading that over the internet to, let's say, for example, Amazon. That's just not going to be possible. We won't have enough bandwidth for that. So on-prem was another key thing. And also one thing that I've experienced is the customer service. That's huge. We can't have the system go down or any error. And so the customer service for us is very, very, very important. So this is the architecture that we have right now at the city of Montebello, with Cloudian being the storage for metadata and videos. So we have application accessing the Cloudian directly, and the objects storing to Cloudian directly from the cloud or from the Wi-Fi. Then we are also using analytics from the Cloudian to do reports or whatever data that we need off of that. This is one of the analytics page that we're able to access that shows the heaviest riders on board and off board. So we actually have a visual of the riders. The system that we're trying to build at the city and for law enforcement is that if you ever watched the movie Wisdom of the Proud, that's exactly what we're trying to build.
Next week is the 1-year anniversary of my daughter's death. And that is why I have created crowdsourced crime solving.
A genius posts the crime.
You're playing by rules that are obsolete.
A detective follows the clues.
There's a reason why cops solve crimes.
Get ahead of the curve, detective.
Together, they're solving crime in a whole new way.
The crowd gives us a clue.
Jeremy Piven, Richard T. Jones.
Do you really think all this is going to work?
I know it'll work.
Wisdom of the Crowd premieres Sunday, October 1st.
The Wisdom of the Crowd is what we're trying to build. With the mobile devices, with the live reporting, we can all send the videos collective to one location or multiple locations. Cloudian has the ability to copy and replicate the data center to the East Coast, West Coast, and Mid Coast. So we want to bring in all the videos collectively. And that's my presentation. And I'll take any questions.